feel like a heavyweight boxer who's been in the ring with I don't know, Muhammad Ali taking a beating, not because it was a negative conversation, but because there was so much information. And having been both part of a team that bought in through a levered buy into a business, then exited as part of the equity ownership of the business, and now running a business as part of, I'm not sure if it's succession, but it's transition from the entrepreneur to the family eventually. I can just say to those business owners out there, which I think is everybody else, you can't do it on your own. You have to spend the money to bring in professional assistance, both from a conceptual structural point of view, and then to spend the money to bring in the right people to actually run your business. Because effectively, if that's all that you're doing and you've been at it for a long time, I don't think you're creating the right kind of vehicle. And that's simply echoing what Craig said. But I've been the guy doing the doing. I've been the person dealing with the business owners and with employees. And I can tell you, it's not possible to extract value without being able to step away, have the right sounding boards. I understand it's tough. You've got to pay the money, but the payback is exponential.
Thanks, Larry. And I think that the key thing there that always stands out is that getting other people to support and make it happen. Because if you think you can do it alone, you can't. We walk around with blinkers on in our own businesses. It's very challenging to identify the areas that we're not seeing. It's crucial to have someone on our side that's backing us up. Paul, love to ask you to share your insights.
The session was completely fantastic. Learned a lot, of course, and love the saying, the proper man understands equity, the small man, the profits. Was fantastic, and it really resonates with a few of my partners in my businesses. And the employee share plan was something which we have actually implemented in our business, but not to the extent to what Greg had explained. So we only went out to key personnel in our business, but now I think I'll take that advice and go to identify a few more and to the whole team as a whole, once they are in the business for almost 12 months, and identify those people. The second key takeout for me was not to increase the revenue, but the gross profit. So you can actually have the multiples when you put it out there, and to look for a strategic buyer. That way you can maximize your profits, definitely. And I've been putting up, because I've been in business for the last 15 years, and I've been working on an exit strategy for the last 2 years, and I've been trying to manage the risks and identifying the key person in the business. But it's taking a long process. I've got another 2 to 3 years to go. So that's why I told Ivan that I'm nearly 4 or 5 out of 10 where I put a plan in place. Yeah, so thanks, Greg. Fantastic session.
And I think the key thing there, Paul, is that you're in progress. You're starting to get going. And yeah, one of the things that stood out when Craig shared at the beginning, it was like, it's not a quick process. It's a minimum 18 months and beyond that it takes something and intentional for you to participate in. John Everett, I'd love you to share your key takeouts, please. And thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, and thank you, Craig. That was outstanding. Really appreciated your time. Apart from what everyone else has said, which I echo, I think the partial sale to me was the big thing, where having someone that comes in and buys part of the business then becomes another employee that's going to offer basically another revenue stream for the business, because they're aligned with you now that they've got equity with you. And I think that's something that I hadn't thought of before. And that was, apart from the employee share plan and so on, I thought that was very good.
Thanks, John, and thanks for joining us. Danny V.
Hi, everyone. So we have a business on my wife's side of the business that we believe has a great potential for expansion and growth. And we've just been kind of caught up in the day-to-day sort of round and rounds in circles, not sort of progressing too far in the right direction. So I think we're about on day one of preparing our 5-year plan, but definitely needs to start. So I need to find the right person to start to talk to about that. Yeah, great talk, great presentation.
Thank you.
And that strategy is always about when's the best time to plant a tree is 10 or 20 years ago. If you didn't do it 20 years ago, the next best time is today. So it's exactly that. Exactly that. Barbara, love to hear from you. Your key takeouts.
Firstly, Craig, this was the best presentation I've ever heard. I've spoken to a few people involved in succession planning, but the way you handle it and the way you're so organised with the process, I thought was fantastic.
Thank you.
And
Barbara, he's been at it a long time, boy or girl.
Well, obviously with the amount of experience you have, and that comes out. The key takeouts are similar to what the other guys have mentioned. I think also the emphasis on risk, minimising the risk, I think was really key for me, and the table about getting better value, and also about this whole share plan and handling staff through this. That's very relevant for me. Anybody want to buy my business? It is for sale.
We couldn't afford it, Barbara.
What?
We couldn't afford it.
No, I'll stay on. I don't want to leave.
We'll all have some shares.
Danny, she'll even lend you the money to take it over.
No. Well, if we put Craig as the incoming CEO and you on the advisory board, Barbara, then got a deal.
No.
Ivan can get the finance organised for us.
No, finance is not a problem.
Finance is not a problem. Okay, there you go. Wayne, I'd love to hear your key takeouts, please.
Mine, probably sort of covered that. Partial sale was my big one, but who owns what in my business is one that really started to get on my mind a little bit, mainly because my business owns my car. My car is now a collector's item and I need to buy my car from me.
Okay, so much to be done.
So knowing who owns what in your business is probably a little bit bigger than what a lot of people think, because that is a valuable asset, and what value is that into the business, and in a proportionate position for sale of business, that sort of thing as well. So if I like all the showroom samples, my showroom's valued at $20,000 worth of samples. So the business owns that, and where does that factor into things and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah. So
that's great. Thanks, Wayne. Ivan, I'd love to hear from you.
Okay, I know I've just got my kids in the background talking, but I thought the presentation, as always, Craig, was outstanding, and the importance of succession planning isn't only for people who are looking to sell, it's important for every business. The discipline of business planning, of monthly accounting, of having an advisory board, of putting in systems and procedures. These are business 101s that every business should do. And Craig has put together a methodology of doing that. And I think he might even have a piece of software that we should all use to, whether it's spreadsheets or whatever, to use to actually put our data into that spreadsheet, or put your data into that spreadsheet to see where you are. And how do you actually, if your business today is worth 500,000, in 5 years' time, how can it be worth 10x? What are the things that you need to do? Do you need to get more customers? Do you need to get more systems? What is where are the leverage points for you to actually get equity. My biggest takeout was that Confucius comment of the normal person will look to profit. The successful person will look to equity. And it's all about leverage, it's all about equity. People have made, most of you have made your money by buying your house many years ago and now owning it now. That's where your assets are. It's an asset, it's equity. It's not whether you made money this year or not. Look at Amazon. It didn't make money for many years. It's now pretty profitable, yeah, or worth a lot. Look at Elon Musk. Never made money ever, and he's the richest man in the world. There's lots of money out there that are looking for a home. And why wouldn't your business be that home for that money?
Love it,
Ivan. That's brilliant.
love it. Lawrence.
Well, I echo Ivan.
You echo Ivan.
No, but all the stuff that was in the present, or nearly all the stuff that was in the presentation, really demonstrates that if you are if you're preparing your business to sell from the start, then all the stuff that you need to sell your business is high percentage of it is what you need to run your business. So having all the documentation in place and your procedures in place and your advisory boards and all the stuff that Ivan talked about, really, if you're running a very efficient and well-run business, you will have all those in place by definition, and then you need a little bit extra to then do the strategic planning and the strategic view ahead for maybe selling the business. I think that's what came over to me, is that if you're really doing your job well in running your business, you'll have a lot of this in place, and then you've just got the extra bit to selling it. But most people don't have it all in place.
Yeah.
So that's why it needs to come in and do it as a 5-year or 3-year or 2-year plan. And I think that was the other thing that came out. When you say, I want to sell my business, what Craig was talking about a lot was, if you've got a reasonable sized business, then you're not talking about selling it in 6 months' time. You're talking about selling it, in 3 to 5 years' time.
Yeah. Thanks, Lawrence. And last up today, Kirsty, I'd love to hear from you.
I love the whole framework. And thank you so much, Craig. That was just so much information. My head is spinning. For my journey, I'm still kind of at the beginning, so I can actually document everything as I go. But just from this last discussion of everyone's personal key takeouts, both my business and my husband's business are one person. So they rely on us, and to be able to move that on and to get compensated for the work that we've done and the clientele we've built up, we need to start looking at getting the strategic partners, looking at, okay, who's going to look after our clients when we're not here, and getting the compensation for that.
Love it. Beautifully summed up, Kirsty. Okay, team. So with that, I think I'll close us up and say thank you for everyone being in the room. Remember to reach out to Craig, and he has said that he's happy to sit across the table from you for an hour complimentary conversation. So definitely worthwhile doing that if this is the space that you're in. And like he said at the beginning, we're all in this space in reality. And remember, we've got our next session with on the 20th. I've put in a link in the chat box there. I hope you've all seen it. Our next session with Dale Beaumont is on the 31st of March 2002, and then on the 28th of April with Les Watson. So definitely book in for that, and start thinking about who would get value from being in the room, because we've always got these incredible speakers. Let's bring the people along and let's add value to our clients and the people that we have got something amazing to share with. So thank you very much. And with that, I'll close us up.
Ciao.
Cheers, everyone.
Ciao.
Bye. Bye.
See you later.